Hello and welcome to the Changeducating podcast, everyone. I'm Sarah and today I'm joining with
Maria Camila.
In this podcast, you can find out about the education situation during the COVID-19 pandemic and resources to face it. First of all, the Changeducating team wants to thank you for reaching this point and to training yourself to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goal number 4 of the United Nations, which is quality education. In this episode, we will talk about the challenges that students must face when studying online and how to overcome these main drawbacks. Also, we will provide some useful recommendations and resources that will help students to maintain and achieve a quality education at home or wherever they are. So let's get to it.
Okay, so today we have the participation of a special guest. She's a high school student. Unfortunately, we cannot have her live because of the time difference, but she will be answering a number of questions related to the topic through voice notes. So let's find out who she is.
Hi, my name is Tara Todka. I am 16 years old. I live in Auckland, New Zealand, and am currently in year 12.
Okay, a student from New Zealand, a country that has certainly been an example in the management of the pandemic. Well, the first question is, what have been the challenges you have faced in your learning process during the pandemic?
Some challenges that I faced in my learning process during the pandemic is having to learn my syllabus remotely without the support of my teachers. With learning remotely, there were issues with my device and with the Wi-Fi, which impacted my learning. Another challenge I faced was the increased workload for homework and for finishing the classwork. Because we only had 1 hour a day with our scheduled classes and our teachers, I wasn't able to ask all the questions I wanted to, nor was I able to finish the work. During the lockdown, when I had to sit internal assignments, I felt as though I was unprepared and didn't fully understand and learn what I needed to. The last challenge I faced was not being able to work with any of my classmates during the pandemic. In some subjects, we had work set for groups. Instead, I had to do it all by myself, resulting in more work.
Okay, connection issues are undoubtedly a problem that most of the students face in online classes, right? Plus, they usually don't know how to manage their time to meet the academic load. The next question is, what strategies have you adopted to motivate you to continue learning efficiently?
Some strategies that I have adopted to motivate me to continue learning is making sure to stay positive and having good time management skills. To stay positive, I would call and chat to my friends, and along with this, I would spend more time socializing with my family. For time management, I would set my days into blocks of what I had to do when. With this, I was able to finish my work and have free time to relax.
Yeah, that's really a good advice.
Yeah. Now, regarding the education system, has the government or educational system provided students and teachers with any type of help or program to improve education remotely?
Our educational and government system allowed us to reduce the amount of credits we needed to pass NCEA Level 1. Due to this, our school decreased the amount of internal assignments and external assignments we had to sit. This allowed us more time to prepare for the assignments that we still had. The teachers made online or remote learning easier by calling us on Teams or Zoom for most lessons. This helped me as a student because I was able to ask more questions and receive immediate answers.
Okay, so NCEA is the main qualification that senior secondary school learners study for every year in New Zealand. And I think it's very wise to reduce the credits given the difficulties that represent not being in a face-to-face classes. Well, we can take an example of this action because in many occasions the teacher chooses to leave too much individual work. However, the students don't know how to develop it, and it is better to do fewer activities that are really enriching. These decisions are carried out through dialogue. This is why we encourage students to express their dissatisfaction with the academic load in order to improve their learning process. And the last question is, how do you think the pandemic has affected less favored countries in the goal of quality education?
I think that the pandemic affected the less favored countries negatively, as most may not have access to infrastructure, thus limiting their access to learning remotely. Along with this, some people could live in a small house or with many people. This makes it harder to learn and study. If these less favored countries' students were unable to learn remotely, then their education for that year has been interrupted, and they may have to retake the same year again.
Yeah, she's right. And we will be discussing the case of Colombia in the next episode of this podcast.
Yeah, Camila. And as the COVID-19 pandemic led to school closures, students across the world who had the opportunity suddenly found themselves learning remotely. And while some newly minded online students transitioned with relative ease, while others struggled to stay more motivated or internalize what has been learned. A situation that can get more challenging with time and affect academic success.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. And finding ways to stay focused and dedicated is crucial for online students. Otherwise, they might fall behind or see their performance decline and may not achieve academic success. Luckily, by understanding the reasons why motivation and apprehension can be challenging and embracing the right approaches, it is possible to overcome many of these difficulties.
So, if you're a student who is now taking courses online or may do so in the near future, these are some useful recommendations to take into account. First, creating a schedule. This will help you to give the day some structure and can help you to cope with change. This can also help you to form healthy and productive habits and reduce stress levels. Second is to embrace opportunities for interaction, as the lack of interaction is one of the biggest challenges in virtual education during COVID-19, as we know. Appreciating and participating and fostering social spaces with your friends, study groups, teachers, parents, and others is essential. Initiating a conversation can lead to greater understanding, and to consider every communication opportunity can help us succeed.
Yeah, that's right. And our third tip is to understand the benefits of online learning. It is help us internalize the opportunities we have by keeping learning while taking advantage of the situation. And four, talk about the situation or seek out professional help. For some students, the lack of social interaction and gravity of the situation that caused it is very hard to bear. Also, if we cannot understand something, it can be very frustrating. It is important that we recognize that these situations are normal, and we can and should seek help or someone to share our feelings. Many schools and colleges offer mental health services to the students. However, if those aren't available remotely, then speaking with a professor, monitor, or our parents is a solid first step.
That's right, and the final recommendation is to explore new methods of learning, to be autodidactic and challenge yourself. You can use downtime for self-awareness and self-improvement as investing in self-study. These help us develop awareness and identity and promote the development of our personal skills and our own potentials.
Yeah, Sarah, I think this is one of the best advice. And regarding this one, I have some platforms or apps that you can use. First, we got Khan Academy, also YouTube academic videos. And if you want to go further and learn by yourself, in the app Medium, you can find articles about any topic you want. You can see the reading time, the comments, and then decide if it's of your interest. And if you are one of those people who are easily distracted and see your phone every 2 minutes, either to check Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, or any social network, I recommend you to download this app. It's named Forest, and it challenges you to leave your cell phone aside to concentrate on a single task. Also, if you are a visual learner, in TikTok you can find the conference of any type.
Thank you for the resources, Camila. Thank you, Changeducating community, for listening and for that small actions that change the world. We'll meet in the next episode.